Hello guys and welcome to this new video. So today we're going to be talking about RAG and RAG fundamentals. I've seen a lot of videos on the internet that are talking about this subject, but they are so long, so I don't want you to waste your time, and let's get to it. So for the presentation, we will start with some theory. So first of all, we will talk about the RAG storing, then later on the RAG calling, and at the end we will do some practice and we will put that in place with the n8n demo at the end.
Okay, great. So now let's start with the RAG storing. So basically there are 4 steps with the RAG storing. There are the ingest, the split, the embed, and the index. So let's go through every step and explain them. So let's take an example of a PDF that has 100 pages. So first of all, what we will do to that PDF is we will clean it. What we mean by cleaning it, so a PDF actually has metadata but also text, but what interests us is mostly text. So that's why we do the ingest step, so we can remove those metadata and keep only the text. So we take that text, we go to the step 2 where we will do chunking. So chunking is mostly done for, I would say, large files. So for example, if you have a PDF that has 100 pages, you would likely chunk it so it can be digestible by your embedded model. So the third step, we will take those chunks and we will embed them. What does embedding means? So as a LLM, it doesn't understand words, it understands just numbers. So that's why when we embed, we say also we vectorize. So we create a vector, and a vector is just a bunch of numbers that gives a meaning to a chunk. So here we have 3 embedding based on those 3 chunks that we have created. So later on, what will be done is that we will position those vectors based on their meaning on an index. Just think of it as a 3D space when you position and you classify things based on their meaning. So here, for example, we will classify this chunk if it talks about travels here, and it will probably be next to another chunk that talks about the kind of same meaning on the same subject. For example, if we talk about nomad lifestyle or something like that, it will probably be next to it. So for here we have funny jokes, for example, and here we talking about school and school communities. Just to let you know, guys, I have a school community that is for free where I share value and also talk about AI agents and AI for business. So don't hesitate to join the community. The link will be in the description and also in the comment section. Okay, great. So now let's move to RAG calling. So this step is actually when you will be retrieving your data from the database or the index if you prefer. So what will happen is you'll probably talk to an AI agent, and there will be 2 options for the AI agents. Either way, answer you directly based on their knowledge. So knowledge means weight of the LLM, or it will answer you from the RAG system. And this step that we are showing here is the RAG system route. So you will ask your question. For example, here I gave a prompt, what can I find in Optimize School community? What will happen next is that your RAG system will embed your prompt. So as I have explained, the embedding creates a vector, and then when we will send that vector to the query index, what will happen is we will find the RAG system will try to find this similar kind of vector to your prompt. Here we have a similarity with the school community. So what will happen is the RAG system will give back the chunk that is talking about the school community. So the chunk is given back to the LLM, and as a final step, the LLM will take it and humanize it and send it back to you and your AI agent.
Okay, great. Now let's move to practice so we can actually see what we have seen in theory in practice and we can understand the basics. So basically here we have the n8n and we have 2 flows. So the first flow is this one, and this one is actually taking a file from my drive and vectorizing or embedding that file. So this is the file that I have chosen, which is a file that can be used in our daily life in the work. So company travel and expenses policy. We'll be asking this file. First of all, what we will do, we will explain the first step that I have explained about the chunking. And for that, I've used Supabase. So I will go directly actually to the table, and we will move all the configuration stuff that we can see in another video in the future. So here you have the content and multiple lines. So those multiple lines are corresponding to the chunks that I have explained. And you have here the embedding or the vectors. So as I said, the vectors are the meaning based on the embedded model that you have used. So the embedded model that we have used here, it's called embedded model OpenAI, and this one is mostly known in the industry. So text embedding 3 small. So you can use other ones if you like. You can check the advantages, the pros and the cons for those models. Okay, great. Now let's move to the second step, which is the RAG retrieval. So here in this step, we will ask the AI agent about our document and we will see how it will respond. So here I've asked him, can I use more than 260 euros for a hostel stay? So the response is based on the document, of course. You generally should aim for hostel stays at 150 euros or less with a maximum of 220 euros in listed high cost cities. So that is brought by the vector database, and we can actually check in our file that is correct. Here you can see that it's actually the right information that has been retrieved. We can also check the logs, where it gives us a lot of information about the context and what our AI agent has done. So we check here in the embedding OpenAI, and we can see what happens is we have retrieved from the Supabase vector store our chunk that is the most relevant, and we have given it to the embedding OpenAI. So as you can see here, we have that response that I have explained in the course. That is actually translated again by the embedding and given back to our AI agent. And then we will have this response that has been humanized. I hope you like the video and you find it pretty straightforward, because I found that there was some courses that are 2 hours long. I think that those small concepts are the most important to understand RAG in general. So don't hesitate to join the community. There is some courses. I will also share the templates there. And if you like the video, like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.